Drama types, tragedy and types. Definition of tragedy. Aristotle, in his definition of tragedy, says, tragedy is an imitation of action that is serious, complete, and of a certain magnitude. A language embellished with each king of fantastic ornament, the several kind being found in separate parts of the play, in the form of action out of narration through pity and fear, affecting the proper catharsis or purging of these emotions. Tragedy excites pity and fear, two kindred emotions always at work in the human breast. The act of exciting affords pleasurable relief, but the feelings called forth by the tragic aspect are not permanently removed, but quietened for the time being so that the system can follow its normal working. Tragedy brings out the sublimity of human effort against heavy and crushing odds, though the tragic hero is crushed down in the conflict on the material plane, yet spiritually is elevated. His grandeur dame elicits our admiration, and he lies the tragic pleasure. Tragedy satisfies the universal human need. The fear and pity on and through which it operates are not, as some have maintained, rare and abnormal emotions. All men are susceptible to them, some persons in an overpowering measure. For the modern, as for the ancient world, they are still among the primary instincts, always present, if below the surface, ready to be called into activity. The Greeks, from temperament, circumstances, and religions, beliefs, may have been more sensitive to the influence than we are, and more likely to suffer from them in a morbid form. Greek tragedy, indeed, in its beginnings was but a wild, religious excitement in a Bacchic ecstasy. This aimless ecstasy was brought under artistic law. It was enabled by objects worthy of an ideal emotion. The poets found out how the transfer of human pity and human fear might, under the excitation of art, be dissolved in joy, and the pain escape in the purified of human sympathy. The main trends of English tragedy can broadly be classified in the following ways: the Greek tragedy or the Athenian tragedy. Tragedy is a Greek word. It literally means goat song. In the beginning, it implied a form of ritual sacrifice, accompanied by a choral song in honor of Dionysus, the god of the fields and the vineyards. The Greek dramatic tragedy gradually came into being out of this ritual. Years after its taking shape, Aristotle studied great Greek tragedians and came to infer that tragedy is the imitation of an action that is serious and also, as having magnitude, complete in itself, in language with pleasurable accessories, each kind brought in separately in the parts of the work, in a dramatic, not a narrative form, with incidents arousing pity and fear, wherewith to accomplish its catharsis of such emotions. The main features of the Greek tragedy were four. The first of there was the chorus, which consisted of a band of dancers and singers. It represented a group of men and women of low social rank. There were those who were interested in the destinies of the major characters of the play. The members of the chorus acquainted the audience with what took place off the stage. They also made comments about the moral side of the happenings. It was an essential form of the Greek tragedy,